Dear students, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Arafat from FEI Higher Secondary Institute. Today I am the lecture about the chapter number 17, Prevention of Drug Abuse and Sexually Transmitted Disease. This is the chapter 17, 9th Biology. In this chapter today we are going to discuss the topic sexually transmitted disease. Sexually transmitted diseases are those diseases which can transmit by means of sexual intercourse. And now we are with the topic sexually transmitted diseases. Its short form is STDs. STDs. Sometimes this disease is also known as, इसको दूसरे नाम से भी जाना जाता है venereal disease. Venereal disease. It is also known as the venereal diseases, which is simply we mention it as VDs. Also sometimes it is also named as named as reproductive tract infection. Also known as reproductive tract infection. इन नामों से हम इसको जानते हैं. Reproductive tract infection. It is also named as sexually transmitted disease. Simply we write it as RTI. Reproductive tract infections लिखो RTIs. This is RTIs. This is the venereal diseases. It has three names of these. And what are the various types of the sexually transmitted diseases? Let us study about it. Various types of sexually transmitted diseases are, we have first one, gonorrhea. Second one is syphilis. Third one is these are the sexually transmitted diseases: gonorrhea, syphilis. Or third is the chlamydiasis. This is the another sexually transmitted disease. And fourth one is the HIV/AIDS. It is the HIV/AIDS. These are the few sexually transmitted disease, STDs, and gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydiasis, and HIV/AIDS. These are sexually transmitted diseases. All these are the gonorrhea. It is caused by the bacteria. That bacteria is known as this type of disease is known as the Neisseria gonorrhea. It is gonorrhea. This is caused by the bacteria. These are all the bacterial diseases. All the three. These above three are the bacterial diseases. Bacterium. This is caused by the bacterium. This is Neisseria gonorrhea, and this disease is caused by the treponema, treponema, palladium. It is caused by this bacterium. This is also a bacterial disease, treponema palladium, and chlamydia is caused by the chlamydia trachomatis. It is caused by the trachomatis. This is also the bacterium disease, sexually transmitted disease, chlamydia trachomatis, and this type of disease, syphilis, is caused by the treponema palladium, and gonorrhea is caused by a bacterium. All these three are the bacterial diseases, and it is the Neisseria gonorrhea, and this disease is caused by retrovirus. It is caused by the retrovirus. Its genetic material is caused of retrovirus HIV/AIDS. It is a viral disease. I will erase it here. This AIDS is a viral disease. Here I will write it with the red pen. It is a viral disease, and retrovirus is caused by, that is a vitro type of virus, retrovirus, and this virus is it contains genetic material of RNA. It contains genetic material. It contains genetic material of RNA. Contains genetic material of RNA, and this is caused by the human immunodeficiency virus. उस वायरस का नाम जो है human immunodeficiency virus. Human immunodeficiency virus. It causes sexually transmitted disease, that is the AIDS. This is what are the various sexually transmitted diseases. Now special focus is on the HIV/AIDS. First of all, I will tell you that all the 4 types of diseases, they infect human reproductive. Infection is caused to human reproductive tract, उसको infection होता है. All the 3 types of sexually transmitted diseases cause their infection in human reproductive tract. Human reproductive tract is infected by all the 3 types of. There are also the certain symptoms related. Later on study that. Now in a sexually transmitted disease, we have a special focus on the, as per the syllabus is concerned, HIV/AIDS. AIDS means acquired, जो हमें हासिल होता है by some external means. It is an extrinsic disease. AIDS is an extrinsic disease. It is an extrinsic SIC disease. What is this extrinsic disease? We get by by means of सराउंडिंग, हमें ये डिजीज बाहर से मिलती है. We get this type of disease, the extrinsic type of disease which we get by the surrounding, by the external means. We get this type of disease, extrinsic disease. What do you mean by AIDS? Acquired, that means which can be acquired immuno, and there is an immune system which is infected by the HIV virus. Immunodeficiency, there is a lack of function in immune system. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome is a disease, the effect on the exposure by this virus, and this is known as the अभी मैंने कहा human immunodeficiency नाम से कुछ पता चलता है ये वो वायरस है जो हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम को डीएक्टिवेट करता है, उसको रिटार्ड करता है इन वीव ऑफ एक्टिविटी, तो वो कमजोर हो जाता है बाय द अटैक ऑफ दिस वायरस. इससे पहले भी दिस वायरस it deactivate the immune system. What is the function of immune system? It defends our body. It defends our body by getting any infection. उससे हमें बचाने के लिए the immune system perform a work and it defends our body by getting any type of infection, and this virus deactivate the work, retards the function of immune system. It declines the number of T lymphocytes which is related to the lymphatic system or immune system. Now we are going to discuss this. It is about the AIDS. AIDS is a sexually transmitted disease and it is caused by HIV virus. It is all about the meaning of this. And now how this transmission takes place, how the AIDS transmission takes place, mode of transmission. Number one, we will discuss in the modes of transmission of AIDS. हमने क्या देखा, किस तरह हमें ये यहाँ पे ट्रांसमिट होता है हमारे बॉडी में. हमने देखा कि if we have a sex if a person has sex with commercial sex workers, there is a chances of getting 70% of this type of disease. And when any person have a multiple sex partners which is not known to her to him and have a sex with that partner, there is a chance of getting the 70%. There is first one is sexual intercourse. Sexual intercourse. By means of sexual intercourse, there is a chance of 75% of in 75% there is a chance of getting this disease if we have a sex with multiple number of sex partners and they are not known to us, they are not in the knowledge of us, and any person have a sex without using any contraceptive method, without using of any protection, and there is a chance of getting this disease. And then there is this is not only the means, ये खाली इस जरिए से एड्स नहीं होता है, there is another mean that we get this type of disease AIDS, that is that we have a blood transfusion by through, we can say we get through blood transfusion, transfusion. Here is the transfer of blood. If there is a transfer of blood, if there is transfer of blood from infected person to healthy person. Infected person here means, what we mean by infected person? AIDS caused person, a person who has AIDS, there is a transfer of blood from infected person to a healthy person which needs it, and we should here take the care of that. Here is the chances of getting the disease this time. इससे भी AIDS लग सकती है इस disease से, and there is the chances of 90%. There is chances by through blood transfusion, and if there is a transfusion of blood without the detection of blood by means of medical protocols, and there is the carelessly transfusion of the blood from the infected AIDS related person to the healthy person, there is the chances of getting the AIDS disease 90%. Now there is another way how the AIDS can be transmitted. Third, and this third part में, here is the, when there is a contamination of articles, or we can say things used by AIDS caused person, those articles which have been contaminated, वो चीजें जो उसने इस्तेमाल किया, and those articles, those things have directly in contact with the blood, say the needle, syringes, say the razor, say the other articles which have direct contact with the blood contact, वो articles जिनके blood से contact हो, syringes, needles, razors, blades, they are utilized before that AIDS caused person, and this is also then a fresh person, a healthy person utilize those contaminated needles, syringes, contaminated articles which have direct contamination with the blood of the AIDS caused person. Here is also the chances of getting this type of disease. Here is also approximately the 80% of the transmission of the disease. As we can see, we can go ahead in this. Then here is also there at D part. In the D part, I would like here also there by the mother. Also, AIDS can be transmitted by through infected mother to her baby. यहाँ एड्स जो है सेक्स ट्रांसमिटेड डिजीज, जो सेक्स डिजीज है, सेक्सुअल डिजीज है, ये भी एक बच्चे को लग सकते हैं बाय her mother when a baby is in her womb. There is also, you know, in the uterus there is a blood contact, there is a nourishment contact, there is a baby is developing in the womb, fetus is developing in the womb of the pregnant woman. There is also, if the mother is infected, automatically baby is infected, and that fetus get this disease. And if the baby get birth by her mother and this disease, वो baby भी इसके साथ contaminate होगी AIDS के साथ. Also the AIDS is there is a AIDS contamination in that born baby. In born baby, there is a chances of transmission of this type of disease, and here the chances are 25% to 40% by the pregnancy, during the pregnancy, and if mother is infected by AIDS, and automatically this type of disease is transmitted to a unborn baby, or after the born baby could be contaminated by this disease, that will so infected mother to her baby. These are the few modes of transmission of this type of disease. And now we move then to the next about this. And here I am talking about now that AIDS, which is not ways through which AIDS are not. AIDS is not non-transmission modes, not transmission. Not transmission means किन जरियों से एड्स नहीं फैलती है. Let us we discuss in this what are the various ways through which this type of disease not transmit to the other persons. Here are the common myths that AIDS can be transmitted by handshaking, by sharing the food with the AIDS caused person, by sharing his room, by having a participation in the functions, in the celebrations, by sharing a common swimming pool. These are not the means. By wearing the clothes of AIDS person. These are not by eating his remaining food. By these means AIDS can't be transmitted. That means by handshake, by have a low affection with that, not a physical thing. That means we have a affection with him. In the purpose we handshake with that person, AIDS person. मतलब इस चीज़ों से एड्स नहीं फैलती है हाथ मिलाने से या उसका खाना शेयर करने से या उसका जो रूम है वो शेयर कर लेंगे. बाय शेयरिंग हिज रूम, बाय प्लेइंग टुगेदर. AIDS person to be in a crowd and we are with him with that. Here is no. These are the common myths that AIDS is transmitted by the AIDS infected person to a healthy by means of handshake, by eating food, and by having a kiss with that person. And by this means AIDS is not getting. These are not the means. There should be a blood contamination. If there is blood contamination between the infected person, AIDS infected person to the healthy person, there is the chances of getting this type of disease by having just a handshake, by sharing the food, clothes, by sharing a room, to be together in a carpool. By these means, by such means, AIDS is not transmitted. These are common words to listen here. We should be aware of. Now, what are the various medical detection for the HIV virus in the blood? What are the detection for HIV/AIDS? Detection. What are the detection of detection of HIV/AIDS? How we detect that person who is infected by HIV virus? How it is detection? How we can be detected? There are certain diagnosis. There are certain tests through which by means by doing एक हमारा तरीका by doing ELISA test. It is the it is full meaning. By this test we can diagnose, we can determine the presence of antigen antibodies type of reactions in a blood, antibodies related AIDS the antibodies which fight against this HIV virus if their number enhance in the blood by the determination of by determining their number by determining the antigen antibodies in the blood plasma. Here, by means of this test, it confirms the detection of the HIV virus in a blood. That it is the enzyme. Its full meaning is the enzyme linked in L capital है enzyme linked immunosorbent SORBNT immunosorbent assay. It is the full form of this test, and this test is done to a blood sample. A blood sample is collected. It is done to a blood sample. A blood sample is collected, and it is collected by a patient, and then this test is performed. There is another test for the detection of the AIDS is the Western blotting test. Western blotting test. This is also a test that we done in the confirmation of HIV/AIDS in our blood. But the best one is the ELISA, ELISA. This type of before I mention on the board that it is done. Also the confirmation. First it is performed, then for the confirmation there is the ELISA. ELISA test is performed by the HIV/AIDS. And third is the viral antigen detection test. There is also the viral antigen detection test. Viral antigen detection. There is also this test is performed. Here are the few tests which we perform in the detection of HIV virus in a blood. Only we not sometimes we take a blood sample. Also we take the fluid by the mouth, not saliva. Fluid by the mouth. Also we perform on. There is a presence of mouth fluid. There is presence of HIV virus. Also some partly detection of that. We not take the sample of blood. We also take sometimes the fluid which is present in the mouth, not saliva, mouth fluid. Mouth fluid is also utilizing in the detection of HIV virus. Now this is all how it is the detection test for HIV virus. Here, what are the preventive measures? First of all, I will show the prevention measures. What are the certain prevention measures in order to have a control to the AIDS-like disease? That one of the major, we should not use the contaminated syringes, needles as used by the infected person. We should make their proper disposal of properly. We should properly dispose them, and there should be, before we donate blood, we donate blood to a healthy person, to the acceptor, donor acceptor हम उसको कहते हैं. तो before there is any blood transfusion, by the medical protocols it should be checked. It should have a HIV/AIDS test, HIV/AIDS related test, the detection for HIV/AIDS before we are donating the blood, before there is any blood transfusion, before there is any blood plasma therapy. this is the preventive measures. Here some diagnoses are done with the patient, like the endoscopy, dialysis, and there is transplanting of the organs. Before we do these medical practices, before we do these medical surgeries, we should have first of all confirmation about the HIV/AIDS like virus detection in the blood before there is transplanting of the or any organ. There is any endoscopy, there is any therapy, there is any we can say the transfusion of blood, there by various means. Before we should any surgical practices, there should be confirmation test for AIDS by these means. And here we should have here is the preventive measures. We should avoid having sex with those person which is not known to us, and have sex without having any protection method. Before we do sex, there should be a precautions, there should be a preventive measures. And there is also, we should have overall knowledge about the AIDS related person, and we should locate them in our society, and we should be somewhat, we take distance in means of sex. We should not have do this with that person. And here are the various preventive measures here. And now how there are the preventive measures I mentioned here. Also the symptoms. What are the symptoms? Various symptoms are related to HIV/AIDS. HIV/AIDS like patient, what symptoms are usually seen? That there is a swelling, there is a swelling of lymph glands. There is swelling of lymph glands, and persistence of cough and fever. हमने देखा कि जो HIV वायरस होता है, खास तौर ये किस पे अटैक करता है? It attack our immune system, जिसका काम ही होता है, it is a secondary defense line in our body. It protects the interior infections. It protects us from any antigen infection, any foreign particle infection, any bacterial infection. It fights against that and protect our body by any infection, by any damage to the tissue, to the cell, within the cell, outside of the cell. Therefore, if this virus attack in our immune system, it declines in this infection. Here is the first of the symptoms. There is a swelling of the lymph glands. If these lymph glands are infected, if this infect, असल में T lymphocytes they are formed within the lymphocytes. These are the factory of the infecting cell. जो हमारे बॉडी से infecting cells निकलते हैं, वो कहाँ से निकलते हैं? lymph gland से. तो वो बनते ही है इन ग्लैंड्स में. जब यही इन्फेक्ट हुए हैं, हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम बेकार हुआ है, ये किसी के काबिल नहीं रहा है. नाउ इट इज नॉट डिफेंडिंग आवर बॉडी. अब छोटे छोटे जो डिजीजेस होते हैं, जैसे कि कफ, फीवर या एनी इन्फेक्शन डिजीज, वो एड्स लाइक पेशेंट में देखा गया है. अगर इसमें खांसी हो या बुखार हो, मतलब ये देखा गया दिक्कत वाली बात रहती है इसके लिए, क्योंकि हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम डिक्लाइन हुआ है, उसकी एफिशिएंसी डिक्रीज हो गई है. तो फिर जो छोटी जो इन्फेक्शन होता है, वो उस पर ओवर पावर में आता है, वो इन्फेक्शन ज़्यादा देर तक रहता है. तभी तो मैंने इसमें कहा कि जो कफ होता है, फीवर होता है, कोल्ड कॉमन डिजीज होती है, अदर डिजीजेस, वो ज़्यादा देर तक रहता है because of the decline of our immune system. Now there is also the symptoms in this. there is a loss of weight, वेट भी लॉस हो जाता है इसमें, ये देखा गया है इसमें। और भी देखा गया है जो फंगल कफ है, फंगल कफ जो हमें फंगल डिजीज होता है, कभी कभार वी गेट अ पोलन इन्फेक्शन, स्पोर एलर्जिक रिएक्शंस, वी गेट बैक्टीरियल इन्फेक्शन, फंगल इन्फेक्शन, वो ज़्यादा देर तक रहता है। फंगल कफ एंड जो होता है फंगल कफ in mouth and throat, वो ज़्यादा देर तक रहता है। throat persistent वो ज़्यादा देर तक रहता है। फंगल इन्फेक्शन थ्रोट, गले में या मतलब हमारे माउथ में कभी कभार बैक्टीरियल फंगल इन्फेक्शन रहता है, वो ज़्यादा देर तक रहता है। बिकॉज जो हमारा लिम्फ नोड्स होते हैं HIV वायरस के कारण वो डिसइंफेक्टेड हो गए, अब उन्हें मतलब वो इन्फेक्टेड सेल्स बनना कम किए, डिक्लाइन इन द नंबर ऑफ द lymphatic cells. If there is decline in number of the lymphatic cells, there is the inefficiency in the immune system, there is the chance of getting the infection. If we talk about the deep part here is that in children, अगर हम देखेंगे in children the diseases like if the children are infected by this AIDS, by this virus, in children the infection, अगर उनमें ये infections हो, infections like fever, diarrhea and we can say common cold etc. इनकी भी रहते हैं persistence, ये भी ज़्यादा ये भी देखते हैं वो वजह मतलब ठीक नहीं हो पाता है, बार बार उसमें बुखार आ जाता है, बार बार जो मतलब डिजीज़ होते हैं, जैसे अगर एक्यूट डिजीज़ हम बात करने के लिए आते हैं, क्विक डिजीज़ एंड क्योरेबल डिजीज़, वो भी ज़्यादा देर तक इस बच्चे में देखा गया या एडल्ट्स में भी देखा गया, वो एक्यूट डिजीज़ भी थोड़ा उनमें वो भी ज़्यादा देर तक रहते हैं because of the HIV virus, and this is the worst disease, AIDS. And the AIDS is this type जो हमने देखा है World AIDS Day is celebrated. It is celebrated on every 1st December of the year. हर साल 1st December as a World AIDS Day celebrate होता है in the view to aware the people what is the AIDS, what are the symptoms of the AIDS, and how there are the preventive measures of the AIDS, how we should be aware of this disease. And this AIDS is first noticed in USA में पाई गई first type of disease in humans, in humans and in 1981 first noticed it in here. Dear students, this is all about this chapter, and we concluded this chapter by this last topic, and inshallah we are going to start the unit 3rd syllabus, diversity in living organisms, and this is all about this chapter, and I hope you understand. Thank you.